All right. Should be good. Let me double check. Let me make sure my hair looks good. Just fucking with you. I didn't even do my hair. All right. Let's see. Let me make sure everything is on. Let me make sure everything's good. Music's not too loud. Looks like we're live. Got 12 people. What's up, guys? Hope you all had a good week. If you're here, go ahead and comment in the or chat in the chat section. What's up, Nolan? Happy Friday, dude. Happy Friday. I had a phenomenal week. A phenomenal week in the market. Marcel, what's up, my friend? How are you? Comment your name and hit the like button. Probably just gonna be like a 30-minute. I always say these things are gonna be like 30 minutes, like 15 minutes long, and they end up being like an hour and a half. But I can't allow that to happen. So yeah, goal of this live stream is just kind of go through some trades, take a look at the market, take a look at overall the setup that we have on Tesla, talk about the S&P, hopefully answer some of your questions, like go through and look at maybe some of any questions or any tickers or anything that you guys have, like anything that you guys want me to go over, and spend this time on you guys. That's the goal. I feel like unfortunately most of the time I don't get the chance to do this, like go live and hang out with you guys and stuff. So that's kind of my goal now. I gotta turn my volume down because I can hear myself way too loud. All right, let me see. Adita, what's up, Adita? Hi Pete, love your channel and your Discord. Could you take a look at the weekly SPY Tesla QQQ MACD? It looks like they're inflecting right up in time. Okay, yeah, let me do that. Let me zoom in. For some reason it's just like I zoomed out now. I can't see anything. Jerry, what's up, Jerry? How you doing, dude? I have a monitor on the right that's like way too small. All right, let's go through and let's take a look at that first, because we're gonna talk about Tesla as well. If you guys have problems seeing anything, please let me know. I can kind of see myself in the screen, so I think I should be all right. This week, if you notice the videos and you've watched them, they look different, because at this moment, I'm instead of just using like TradingView or something like overall, I'm using like my Thinkorswim again because I love Thinkorswim, and then I'm like have a bunch of other stuff up. So if you can't see or anything, what's up, Jerry Motley? What's up, Motley? I like your input on QQQ and Netflix. Love you, bro. Love you too, dude. All right, let's go through. Let's talk about SPY first, and then we'll talk about Tesla, and then we'll go through and we'll take a look at triple Qs because a lot of people have that question. All right, so let's look at SPY first. SPY, we'll do it all at once. I know you want to talk about the weekly Adita, which we'll do. And then let's take a look at everything at once. So looking at the 1 hour, like everything moved to perfection, right? We had this Fibonacci retracement where we saw this push up, and then we pulled back, we tapped double bottom this fib retracement right here, at the 61% range. So right around like 373, 374. Pulled back, bounced 3 times, and then we had that resistance point. So if I go through and I just like highlight this was like that area that we were like moving on, and that we were looking like we were going to see a potential breakout or breakdown. Like that's the area that I was looking at for like the past week or so, right? That's why it was so significant. And then you can see, hopefully you should be able to see the TTM. Let me double check. Let me look at, you can see the TTM. So if you look at the TTM, you'll see down here, right where we had that tight price action, the TTM was squeezing. That's where you see all of these red dots squeezing here. Does anybody here not know what a TTM squeeze is? If you do not know what a TTM squeeze is, please let me know, and I will go through it. And I'll talk about it briefly. But we had a nice squeeze. Squeeze was chilling. Also hit the like button, guys. We got 41 people and 3 likes. Come on. I do not. Okay, so a TTM squeeze. Down at the bottom, it's my third indicator on the bottom. If you don't know what a Bollinger Band is, we're going to go over this as well. So when a Bollinger Band is wide, it means the stock is not squeezing. When the Bollinger Bands get close, it's going to show you that the stock is squeezing. But what happens is, I'm going to bring up a Bollinger Band real quick. I don't use a Bollinger Band just because there's so much crap already on my studies that I don't like having too many lines. But let's stick a Bollinger Band in here real quick. Let's hit OK. So you see the red line here and this purple line here and then this one here. So every single time a Bollinger Band gets close to each other, this is where a squeeze happens. So right here, this is where that squeeze happened. Right here, Bollinger Bands get close. This is where a squeeze happens. And every single time the Bollinger Bands get close, the squeeze happens, and then we usually get a breakout or a breakdown. Squeezes are kind of like pimples, right? Like You're squeezing the pimple, the pus has to come out and pop. All a TTM is basically a Bollinger Band, but without looking at the band. It just tells you, okay, Bollinger Bands are squeezing, we're going to have a breakout or a breakdown. It just means a move is coming. So we have this tight price movement here. Now would be a good time to insert ads. I don't want to add ads to this. Get out of here. So we see tight movement here. We have a TTM squeeze. And I was saying all week, if you're not part of the Discord, guys, go check out the Discord. The link is in the description. It should work. Some people say they can't find it, but like with YouTube's new update, you have to like hit the description button. But go check it out. Free Discord. And in the Discord, I was saying like we have to watch these areas. We have to watch this resistance area because if we can push through 381, a very good move should happen up to 390. And that's exactly what happened this week, right? We squeezed out, we released, look at the TTM at the bottom, right? We released, and now we've just been running. And we're looking really, really good here. Really, really solid. Up on the 200 SMA, looking really, really good. Late, but I'm here. What's up, Call of Duty? What do you think of Snow? We'll do that. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, man. But yeah, so we hit 390. That was the plan. That was the goal. 390 was looking like that's what we were going to hit, and we hit that to a T. Now, it is looking a little weak on the 1 hour. Like, I'm not going to lie. We have this 200 SMA acting as a resistance. RSI is pointing down now. MACD on the 1 hour crossed to the downside. So it's looking like if we give up 387, next week we can see a drop down to 382. Now, looking at the bigger time frames, because Adita asked us about the weeklies, you can see here, if I go through and just get rid of this fib and I draw out a horizontal line, you can see that 390 used to be a solid support, right? And with that acting as a solid support before, it's going to give us a solid resistance. So you can see that we've rejected here one time on 628 and 627, pulled back, and now we're testing this again at 390, right? So in theory, we should be able to hopefully break out, run up to 396, fill the gap, because we have this gap right here. Remember, all gaps need to be filled. Fill the gap up to 400, and I think ultimately at 400, that's where we're going to shit the bed. That's where we're going to reject. And I ultimately think that at 400 is where we're going to get that move down to 350 on the S&P 500. That's where I believe it happening. Because if you look at the weekly, let's just take a look at the weekly. Every single time that I'll try to zoom in. There we go. Every single time that we pull back up to this EMA, we reject. I'm going to get rid of the fib so it's easier to see. Every single time we drop and then pull back to the EMA, we reject, right? Push back up to the EMA, reject. Push back up to the EMA, reject. And if you look across the board at the bigger time frames, you can see that not a lot of volume comes back in until we're at 350. So looking at the weekly chart, the 200 SMA is down at 350. I think that's where we're going to see the support. If we draw a fib retracement from lows of the pandemic to highs recently, where does the 50% fib line up? Right? The 50% Fibonacci lines up right on the 200-day SMA, right at $350, right? Also, if we look at the monthly chart, which is a massive chart, what is that, right? That's a 50 SMA on 350. So there's a lot of confluence. There's a lot of big areas of support depending upon what type of trader you are. So looking at this now, the S&P looks solid, in my opinion, to drop down to 350 on a bigger time frame. The way that I see this happening, honestly, is that we're going to have a run into earnings, and then I think big tech earnings are going to be pretty bad. And then that's where we're going to see a 13% drop back down to 350. Ultimately, that's what I think. Now, I have a lot of bullish positions open. I also have about $4,000 worth of puts. I will buy a little bit more puts just as a hedge, but that's kind of where I see things going. Now, Adita, you also asked about Tesla. What would Tesla be if SPY retraces to 350? So it's going to depend on Tesla's earnings, but I think Tesla's going to drop to 500 unless their earnings are crazy. And that's one thing I want you guys to understand, right? Like, a lot of people comment on my videos like, well, you don't get it. Like, look at Tesla. Like, their technology is so advanced, and, you know, Giga Berlin and Austin and this and that. And I'm like, dude, I understand. Like, the fundamentals of the company are great. You believe in the company. But the fundamentals of the company mean nothing short term. just like short term means nothing to the fundamentals, right? It's a duality. So you can't say like, oh, well, the fundamentals mean nothing in the short term, but then be like, well, the short term has everything to do with the fundamentals, right? Like you can't say that in one breath. So it's like there's a duality. And to be quite honest, that's where you make money. If you're a long-term investor, you want to find a solid company like Tesla and then fucking hope it shits the bed so that you can buy it at an insane price, right? Like that's what you want. I think the issue is people get upset because they have all their money in Tesla now and they don't have enough money to buy the dip at 4 or 500. I think that's why people get upset. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, because we're only at 13 likes and we got to push this shit out here. We'll go through and we'll get through the rest of these. But looking at Tesla daily, I made a video this morning. I still think Tesla can push up to 800, maybe 850. I have 12 shares short today, so I think we're going to pull back to 740 on Friday or on Monday, and then from there we can break out. Looking at the weekly chart, Adita, though, the MACDs look good. So like the MACD histogram does look good on SPY. It does look good on Tesla, but it has not crossed yet. And I think we're going to reject up at like the 750, 800 mark. And I think we'll see Tesla down at 445 personally. I know a lot of people aren't gonna be happy about that, but that's what I think. And looking at triple Qs, actually, like, you have to realize like triple Qs have been hurt a lot more than SPY because all those big tech companies were like inflated. I think that triple Q can push up to like 305 and then pull back down to 265. I made a video fundamentally talking yesterday about what could cause a recession, QT. Go watch that video if you want. But depending upon what happens, that could drive us through those to the bottom. How'd your spread work out today on Tesla? The one I'd made $34. At one point, I was up like $150, and if I would have held into closing today, I would have made money. But the RVR was just not worth it. As I saw Tesla start to run, I day traded it to the upside. Let me go to my Discord. No, not premium chat. Open positions. Oh, I was in the day trade section. That's what it was. Yeah, so I day traded Tesla. I made $125. So basically, nothing crazy. You should release a video on how you set up your indicators. Bro, all right, so if anybody wants to know how I set up my indicators, go to our free Discord, go to the courses and seminars section, and once you're in the courses and seminars section, scroll up to the top. There's a technical analysis course. It's completely free, no bullshit, no, like, you got to sign up and, like, give me your email so I can hound you every day. You sign up, and then you just get access to the free course. But, yeah, I can do that. I also have, if you go to YouTube, and then you just type in, like, Peter DeCarlo, Think or Swim, if you want to see my exact Think or Swim setup, it has not changed. It's this video right here. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot that you cannot actually see. Oh, no, you can't. You guys can't see my Discord. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and switch this. Because I have Think or Swim up, I have to actually change this. Okay, now you should be able to see. So once you're in this Discord, then you scroll all the way down to the courses and seminars section on the left side of the screen. You can't see it, but on the left side of the screen, and then you go up to the technical analysis section right here. Sorry about that. I'm using OBS with like multiple layers, so it's very hard to see. But go ahead and do that, and then the day trade section. I'm gonna have to actually let me unlock this, and let me move this. There we go. And then I'll go through and go to the day trades. And this was the day trade I took. So I closed 125 on Tesla, and then I closed 284 on DraftKings. Been following your Webull account closely. I never played options till now. Very formative, and thank you. Yeah, or very formative and helpful. Yeah, dude, thanks. That's the goal. The account has not really been doing well, just because of the market, but I mean, the goal is not short term. So, we'll see. What time do you expect SPY to hit 350? I would expect probably end of summer. Like I said in the video yesterday when I talked about like the market overall, like quantitative tightening just started in June. And if you see how far the market has fallen since January, and like we haven't had any QT, like I don't think the market's going to be happy. I think there's going to be a shitstorm of huge tightening, continuing to raise rates, terrible fucking earnings, supply chains issues, continuing to come out. And I just think that's going to be a recipe to drive the S&P 500 down. I really do. Let me go back up. Great week for THT, dude. This was a great week. I only made like $3,800, which is not bad. On my portfolio, it's only like 2%. It was a really good week. Please explain TTMs. I already did that. What do you think of snow? All right, Michael, let's go over snow. So taking a look at snow, let me actually clear all of my drawings real quick. Let's take a look at the 4 hour first. Looking at snow, not bad at all. I think the bulk of the move is gone. So if you look here, really nice descending wedge, really nice TTM squeeze at the time. Good breakout. I think snow can run up to 183, but personally, I would sit out on it as a trade because the RVR is not good, right? Potential return 15% up to resistance, potential loss 10% down to support. I think if you're in snow, allow it to run. If you're not in snow, I would just chill. What are volatile? What stocks are volatile except for Tesla? There's a lot of stocks that are volatile. Like, I sell a lot of cash secured puts and stuff, which we'll talk about. But like, I really like doing cash secured puts on like a lot of volatile stocks. But there's a lot of volatile stocks. What do you think about Amazon's Head and Shoulders? What's up, Chris? All right, Amazon. So the Head and Shoulders pattern that I was initially watching is still in play, but it's just a little more janky, right? So if you look at it, good support on Amazon at 101. We have this Head and Shoulders pattern here. I'm going to draw it like a janky person did, but Head and Shoulders pattern here. And then you can see at this point, it did bounce up. If Amazon breaks next week above 117, the Head and Shoulders pattern's dead, right? It's dead. So as of now, it's still in play, but if it breaks up to like 120, 130, I would get out of it. But it still looks good. We're still in that Head and Shoulders. Thanks for all you do. Dude, thank you so much, Call of Duty. What do you think about Head and Shoulders? What would Tesla be at if SPY retraces to 350, Jacob? I think it'd probably be about like 500. Pete, you're on point. Thank you. Tesla earnings can't be crazy good this time. Q3 and Q4 is likely. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be good, honestly. I think that it could be good, but I don't think it's necessarily like I've said before, good news is not good news in this market. It's really not. Should you look at the NASDAQ when you want to know about Tesla, as Tesla is beta prox 2 that's related to the NASDAQ, right? Yeah, I mean, so Tesla is in the S&P 500 now, so it does push the S&P 500 as well. But normally NASDAQ is just going to be like the big tech giants. But honestly, like, here's the thing about Tesla. Sometimes it just moves on its own, which is why it's very hard. Like it's actually very rare that I trade Tesla, even though I do nothing but talk about Tesla on this channel. It's very rare that I trade it because it's so volatile. It's so volatile. There's so many hedges that come through. So watching unusual pricing is like pretty hard too. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, and check out the Discord. It's in the description if you're not there. Let me see. Thanks, Pete. Very informative. Agree with you. Market run up, then SPY to 350. Yeah, Dita, I think that's probably where we're going to go. It makes the most sense, honestly. I would be very worried if we just fully recover in the market. Like, there's a chance, but I would be very worried. The further you kick the can down the road, the worse the shit will be. You know what I mean? Mr. Reddick, what up? What's up? What time frame, Nolan, do you expect it to hit 350? I said probably end of summer. Do you have this indicator on TD? Yeah, this is TD, so I am using TD. So any indicators you see here are there. Let's run those likes to 80 people watching. Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. But following your Wheelable account, we already went over that. Do you think 100 buying power is in play? 100 BP? Need to know. I don't know. What do you mean by 100 BP is in play? Netflix. Let's go over it, Motley. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix is actually starting to look enticing, to be quite honest, on the bigger time frame. So like if you look at the weekly time frame, let's go to like a 10-year week. So if you look at that's the 1 hour. Why the hell is that like that? Okay, the 10-year week. So if we look at this is actually looking decent-ish. So we broke through all these major supports, right? Like fucking Netflix has been really, really bad. We're sitting here. We're chilling. I think we're squeezing on the daily. Daily squeezing. 4 hours not squeezing. And if you look at the weekly, like we're sitting flat here. RSI is sitting here too. And the MACD's crossed to the upside. I wouldn't touch it, to be quite honest. I really wouldn't. There's a small amount of demand here at like 176. Big demand is down at $100. I said I think Netflix was going to drop to $100 like 3 months ago, and I still think we're going to hit $100. The MACD looks okay, but you have to realize like MACD and RSI are like not that important. If I had to rank indicators, the first thing would be price action. That's not even an indicator, but price action. The second thing would be volume, right? Volume is getting weaker and weaker. Third would be volume profile. Then after that, it would be like 200 SMA, 50 SMA, 100 SMA, then an RSI, and then the last is a MACD. So for me, I think it does look like we could bottom here, but it's an earnings gamble. If earnings is good, we'll rip back up to 272. If earnings is bad, we'll shit down to $100. So personally, Motley, I really wouldn't touch it. Jacob, I've never traded options. I would love to learn. Do you have videos in the Discord learning how to trade options? Yeah. So if you go to the Discord, you go to the courses and seminars section, there's a whole bunch of videos on options, and I have a free course probably coming out at the end of the year, or at the end of the summer, I'm sorry, on it. And I'm also going to be making an ebook on options. It's going to be like $1 or some shit. My goal right now is to make a bunch of ebooks that are like very, I don't want to say like I'm a very basic human being, right? So I'm trying to make very basic ebooks that are like $1 that I can just sell on Amazon basically for free to you guys, so that you have reference points to go back to. Because watching courses is great, but I want you guys to just have like a 15-page ebook that you can quickly be like, oh, what is open interest? Oh, I can keep it next to my desk, look at open interest, like what's considered unusual options, etc., etc. So that's the goal. But yeah, I have videos on it. Go to the courses and seminar section within our Discord, and you will see a bunch of videos. It's called like it's not an actual course, but I do have a bunch of lectures under, let me check. It's under the beginner video section. So we have put credit spreads, debit spreads, reading unusual options on Black Box, dark pools, how to trade options on Robinhood, how to price out an option, what is IV, what is IV crush, theta decay, like all of that is over there. So go check it out. I want it autographed, bro. I got you, dude. I'll autograph it. I write cursive, so it's a nice autograph. Marcel, would you enter a leap at 500 or even below? I would. You just have to watch with leaps. You really just have to watch the volume. You have to watch the spread, and you have to really watch the theta and IV. Like if Tesla cratered to $500 and then like you bought like $1,000 Tesla call, for next year, your IV might be pretty high, but I want to do a leap video pretty soon. So potentially I would. Is it more of a recommendation than, it's more of a recommendation than a question. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, for me, I would probably just rather own the common shares instead of do a leap. Like I would rather just own the shares, and then like, I have more money though. Well, I'm not saying how much you have, but I have like enough to where I can go buy 100 shares, 200 shares of Tesla, and then sell covered calls and stuff. Can you give your opinion on LMT long term? It's Lockheed Martin, right? I don't know much about the company, but like pretty solid, right? Like I think all they do is defense. I don't really know much. Last time I looked, the balance sheet was pretty good. The income statement was pretty good. A lot of cash on hand. Like it's just a safe investment, but I don't know shit about the company really. I can do a deep dive if you guys really want. Pinky the finger. Is Neo a good place to get in? I mean, long term, maybe. Long term, potentially. I bought a lot of Neo at like $2. My issue with Neo, and this is my issue with a lot of companies, guys. I want you to really understand this when you're looking from an investing standpoint. Right. All right. Let's actually make this a long-term investing rant right now. Why is it so important that companies are profitable and have bank in the balance sheet, have money on the balance sheet during a recession? And we're not just saying, obviously because you'll get dividends and they'll make more money, but like, why is that so important during a recession? And then I want to correlate that to you guys personally. So that's the question. Why is it so important to have extra cash during a recession and to be profitable as a company? And then the next question I want to pose to you is, why is it important that you have consistent income and that you have money in a recession? Why is it important? Right? Marcel says, in a recession, there is less demand and your costs rise. Very true. So the company shouldn't go bankrupt. Positive cash flow is important, like Tesla. Yeah. So, all right. Just to make it easy, the reason that a company that you're investing in long term should have positive cash flow and money on the balance sheet is that, number one, when demand dries up, which it will dry up, there's a lot of demand for Teslas right now, but like, when unemployment I'm not going to get too political here, but at the end of the day, when demand drops, if it drops across the board, not just with Tesla but any company, and cost of supplies go up, they're going to get hurt on the bottom line, right? It's just a part of it. The second thing is that they can go, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, they can go make acquisitions for dirt cheap, right? So think of a company like you, right? If you have a ton of cash in a recession and you're making money in a recession, you can go buy Palantir at $6. You could go buy Tesla at 500. You could go buy AMD at $40. You could go buy Apple at $39 or 50 or 60. You can go buy Amazon at $40, right? That's why it's so important. Like for me, when I look at cash flow in a company, especially a tech company, I look at the importance more from, they can go make acquisitions. They could go, like, not saying this would happen, right? Like, not saying this would happen at all. But let's say a recession happens and a company like Neo is going bankrupt. Like, they're just not making money. Their margins are shit. They're getting killed with supply chain issues. They're have a ton of issues going on, and they're going to go bankrupt. And the market cap, when it was at $70, let's just say, guys, this is not real numbers, was like 100 billion. And the stock price is down at $5. And Tesla can come in and scoop up the company. They can buy the whole company for like 15 billion. That's fucking huge, right? And I'm not saying that would ever happen. If Tesla needs them, they don't. But what I'm saying is that, like, it's like, imagine if you had a company and you could buy out your competitor at like 70% discount. Like, acquisitions are very, very important, and we see acquisitions happen all the time. You know what I mean? Not specifically talking about Tesla. Let's go back up. Let's go through. You ever give your opinion on long-term LMT? It did. Is Neo good to get in? I long-term, I'm worried, to be quite honest. Short-term, it looks like we could potentially get a run up to 28, but honestly, I wouldn't touch Neo. For me, at this point in my life, I wouldn't touch it. I don't like the market. I don't trust it. I don't trust Chinese companies anymore, personally, just with regulations and how things have been. $20 is not bad, but it's just hard for me, I guess, because I was buying it at like 210 to like justify buying it up here long term. But I would just be careful with it. Let me see. What is the highest expect for Tesla by the end of the year? The highest I would say is like $1,000. I don't think that's gonna happen. Can you do ARKK? Let's do it up. Yeah, shit, let's do it. Hit the like button, guys. ARKK. I mean, so off the top of my head, I don't fully remember the companies in ARKK. I think it's Tesla, Teladoc is in there. I think Palantir is still in there. I don't know. What are the companies? ARKK Holdings, Peloton, I think. It's a lot of companies that are like internet based. Zoomed is in there. I know that. Zoom, Tesla, Roku, CRISPR, Teladoc. I don't think these companies are going to do well in a recession. Honestly, I really don't. Square, Twilio. I like Twilio a lot. Roku, CRISPR, Teladoc. I don't think they're going to really do too well. I don't think most of their balance sheets are solid, but I haven't looked in a while. But I don't think most of them are going to fare well from a fundamental standpoint. I wouldn't be buying it personally. But this is part of life, though. Like, you have to realize this, like, the same way that, like, I don't want to go crazy, but like, the same way that Cathie Wood looked like a hero is the same way that Cathie Wood, now people are like, oh, look at ARKK, it's down 73%. You know what I mean? I think that ARKK long term, like, if you want to get in, this is a good time because we're like sub pandemic levels. But like, it's not something I'm buying. The weekly chart does look like it bottomed. There is so much demand at 45 bucks. Like, we could see a run up to 72. I think if you're going long term, ARKK is not a bad investment if you are okay with volatility and you're okay with risk, right? Like, you wouldn't buy ARKK if you plan to retire in 3 years, right? But if you're young and you want some good, like a good ETF that you don't have to worry about and like you're okay with volatility, like I would do it up. I'd appreciate if you could call the unusual flows as often as possible. For me, a straightforward way to make a profit with good RVR. Yeah, I try to, Marcel. It's just like, I don't want to post ones that I'm not very confident in. That's the biggest thing, because a lot of times, like, most flow is garbage and worthless. A super chat. Thank you, Pinky the Finger. You the man. Thank you, Pinky. Means the world to me. Expedia. Any chance we reach 121? Let's take a look. 121 by when? On Expedia. So we do have a good divergence with a good wedge, but for me personally, like, I probably wouldn't. I don't think we're gonna hit 120. Honestly, I really don't, unfortunately. Let's see. Tesla broke out of my wedge on my charts, pushed pretty well in my opinion, not that much volume. We will gap down Monday or rip on earnings next week. Yeah, Mr. Reddick, I think we're going to probably pull back to 740 Monday. Earnings, this could be a shit show. Any thoughts on Palantir? I think we went over Palantir? No, I don't think we know if we did. 4 hour, honestly not looking bad. If you look at most stocks right now, they have wedges. Like descending wedges. I think there's a big resistance. If it can break out over 1050, we should see a run up to 12. So if you're in it, I would hold it, see what happens, run a stop. If not, I would probably wouldn't touch it. George, I'm a premium member, totally worth it. Hope all is well. Do you think like ENPH next week? Dude, thank you so much, George. If you guys want to get access to all of my trades and all the premium member functions, once you're in the Discord, you can upgrade over there. It's like 25 bucks a month. What do I think of ENPH? This is looking pretty solid. Honestly, the daily, we have a resistance up here at 220, right? Nice solid support riding its way up. TTM squeezing. MACD just crossed the upside. RSI pointing up. Volume very strong. I really like this a lot. George. Biggest thing is, like, I wouldn't enter here. But if you're already in, like, dude, if you got in at 180, you're looking pretty good. Hopefully we can get a breakout. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we reject and then squeeze until earnings on the 26th and then get that breakout to the upside. But ENPH is looking very, very good. Sorry if you covered it already. Oh, EMP or Tesla? No, I didn't cover it. Or I did cover it already, but it's looking pretty good. I think we're gonna pull back though. Peter, have you tried option spread collecting, like buying an option above below price and selling it instantly afterwards mid price? It works for me when a spread is wide. I've never actually tried that, but I can look into that. Mostly what I do is just like sell cash secured puts and spreads and just play regular calls. This week though, like, I never play weekly calls, but I played weekly calls on Tesla and I made 600 bucks. And if I would have held, man, I would have been able to buy a car. Would have been able to buy a brand new Toyota Camry. It's not even like a nice car, but you know what I mean. However, what happened to UNH? I don't know what happened to UNH. But we can look at it from a technical perspective. United Health Group, solid uptrend. Big resistance up here, 518. This looks pretty good to break out, honestly. Decreasing volume is not hot, but we had a lot of volume today, and we were unable to hold up over 518, which is a little worrisome. But there is a gap to fill up here at 540. This thing looks pretty good. Pretty damn good. I'd probably set a stop down at like 499 though. In a recession, less demand. We already went that. Asset allocation. Just curious. Do you trade small caps? If so, why? I trade whatever. Honestly, I trade whatever. Like, I really just watch flow. I really just watch unusual flow, guys. I don't really pay attention to like the news. I don't pay attention. I don't care about market cap. I don't care about. I don't really give a shit. I just pay attention to what big money is buying because they know more than we do. So just follow them. You know what I mean? Professor, what's up, Jonathan? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking is moment to get more stock in Tesla? I personally would be waiting for like 600, 500. personally. How's your short workout for you? Hold club. I still have my short. Yeah, so I think right now, let me see. Well, the call credit spreads I had, I made $30. I'm up $76 on my Tesla short, but I was up like 200 at one point today, and I just never closed. We saw that pullback on Tesla. Let me go look 1 minute. Saw that pullback down here to like 745, and I was gonna close it out, but I decided like not to. I was like, we'll just see, we'll hold. It's funny though, because the Tesla short, and I want to talk about this too. I'm making a joke. Do you guys know who Bia Heza is? Does anybody know who Bia Heza is? I don't know if you guys know or not. Funny YouTuber, good YouTuber. He's a chill dude. But he did a video on the martingale strategy. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but he did it with based off of gambling. I think he did it with some like gambling thing, but I'm using the martingale effect right now for day trading. And so if you're in our Discord in the day trading section, I said do not follow any of the trades in this section. I think people did, but I was like, don't, because I did really well today, but I was like, don't follow, because I'm using the martingale effect or the martingale strategy and just testing it. I'm going to make a YouTube video on it. So that's what that YouTube or that Tesla short was about, but we'll see what happens Monday. Roku is in there. Yeah, Roku is in there. Used to watch AMD chill between $9 to $12 a few years after they became income positive, hit 160. Dude, stock by numbers. I remember buying AMD at like 350, 390. It's just freaking crazy. Such a solid company too. What do you think of Palantir? If you're in it, hold it. If you're not, I would not look into it. Pinky, can you look at Chewy short? Let's take a look. Let me remove my drawings. There we go. And this is like tough. So this is tough. Honestly, like I wouldn't touch. All right, so a couple of things, right? Number one, Chewy is just downtrending. We broke the 100 SMA downtrend. There's still a 200 SMA to the upside, right? But we have this down here. We have a cup and handle that broke out. So if you look here, we had this nice little, I'll go through and draw it out, but we had this nice little cup, and then we had a nice little handle, and then we broke out from that. I wouldn't chase it, and I wouldn't short it, to be quite honest. I wouldn't go against it right now, Pinky. If you want to, I would maybe wait up at like 48s and 50s. But we're still breaking out of that cup and handle. When I go against something that's starting to trend up on like these smaller time frames, like the 4 hours and stuff and the 1 hours, even though it is overextended, for me, my issue is just like the time, like you can get squeezed out of trades so quick doing that. So I would be careful personally. Let's see. Can you can you talk about Fed financials and where the rate increases are going, as the Fed cannot raise too much long term or US cannot pay their debts? They would have Volcker short term, in my opinion. I'm going to do a whole video on this. So I'm actually writing this video out this weekend. I'm going to do one on Tuesday. But it's just the same situation. I think that we already priced in like I think it was like a 1.75 rate for the year. I think you're going to have to probably continue to raise that even more, but I'm doing an entire video on it, but it's not going to hurt the market. I mean, looking at all the printing that we did and how much they added to the balance sheet last year, I was really thinking to myself, so in that video I did yesterday, I was saying like, I don't know if what they did was right or wrong, right? Printing all the money and shit. But to be quite honest, like really thinking back now, I honestly think it was better for them to do that and now deal with all the shit that we're dealing with than just let everything die. As much as I would like that to get it over with, I think that we'd be in such a worse fucking place right now. I really do. Used to watch AMD chill between 9, so I already talked about that. Did you go over SPY? Andy, yeah, I think it's going to run up to 400 and then reject down to 350. Tesla all-time highs this year is absolutely in the cards. I go with Wedbush 1400. Let's hope, Thomas. I hope. I don't think so, but I hope so. Let me put it that way. I never want to be a bear or think we're gonna drop, but honestly, I do. Love the way you trade. Thank you, Nolan. Means a lot. What do you think of Roblox? So, Angel, I don't know if he's here, but one of our senior analysts called out Roblox yesterday. Fucking crazy. I didn't follow the trade. Like I at this point, like looking at this, there was a lot of calls coming through, a lot of flow coming through. If we can push through this and hold, if we can hold where we are tomorrow or Monday, we should see a run up to 51. Personally, it looks pretty good. Ooh, somebody with an oil question. Pinky, I like your questions. I'm going to get down there, but we'll talk about oil in a minute. Let me see. Roblox, you think SPY will continue to run next week? I do. I think we're going to hit 400. Got to run for dinner. See you, Mr. Reddick. I got to cook some dinner, actually. I'm making salmon with a garlic butter sauce after this. Let's get it next week. Let's fucking go, bro. Let me see. No one ever talks about the short term about... No one ever talks about how short the term actually is, though. I don't know what short term we're talking about. CPI data on the 13th will sink the market again. Potentially. We'll see what happens. It really depends, but I think so. I think it's going to be the beginning down. GME split thoughts. I don't know how much it's splitting. I didn't even know. GME split. 4-to-1 stock split a day ago. Shares are soaring. Did you guys see? I don't know if you guys saw. They put me in a fucking GameStop documentary. I don't know if you guys saw. I didn't post it, but they put me in a GameStop documentary shit talking GameStop. So there's a GameStop documentary on Hulu. I think it's called GameStop Power to the Players or something, but it's on Hulu, and like 12 minutes in, it's like they took a video clip of me when GameStop was at its highs, and I was like, I don't believe in this company long term. There's no way that GameStop can hold these highs. I was like, it's gonna crap the bed, and I was like, there's no reason I would ever go into a GameStop ever again if the next systems, not the systems that just came out, but the next systems, 3-4 years from now, don't have, like, because they make all their money off the secondary market, and then they took that and didn't tell me, but I think they have free use. But it was funny as fuck. I was watching it, I had no clue I was in it, and I was like, holy shit, it's me. I don't know about GameStop, honestly. We're squeezing. It's looking like we can get a breakout up to the 160s, 200s. But big rejection here at 127. For me, like, I just wouldn't touch it. But no more, Mr. Nice Guy. If you want to, like, put in what you're willing to lose. You know what I mean? Or what you are willing to lose. Split is a game. They have a niche market, and it's evaporating. I do agree with that, too. So are we not bearish anymore? Rohit, I think that we are bearish still, personally. Thoughts on oil. Let's go over this. So I was listening. Who was it? I was actually listening to fucking Jamie Dimon. That's who it was. So we had that big push on oil, and then we had this beautiful ascending wedge on oil that we saw oil go from like 125 a barrel all the way down to 94. But Jamie Dimon just came out and said that he's expecting oil to go up to like 160, 180 a barrel by the end of the year. So I'm pretty bullish on oil. If we can get it back down to 92, I might get some futures contracts, honestly, on CL. But it's looking pretty good. Let's see, mentioned the 43 put on Roblox that moved over 200%. It's like effing Tesla. That's why I asked about the puts for next week. It's insane, man. Where do you see Tesla price in 2025? Well, if there's no split, 2025, right? So it's 3 years, but coming out of the recession. We should be coming out of the recession. Things might not go the way I want them to. But we should be coming out of the recession. I think Tesla, I mean, fundamentally, I think the company is going to be phenomenal. I think Tesla would probably be trading at like 1,800, maybe $2,000 a share. I think that when we look at this recession, I think it's not going to be, like, if you look at the crash, right? Let's look at a crash in like 2020, right? It was very deep, but it wasn't wide. So it was very bad, but then we quickly recovered. I think this is going to be opposite. I've been saying this shit since November, guys. November of last year, right? I'm not always right, of course not. But I've been saying since November of last year, Q1, Q2 is going to be a shit show, and I expect overall that we're going to have a very long and shallow recession. See the market sit sideways for a year or two, maybe a 20-30% drop. You know what I mean? Marcel, I'd really like to have a private session with you and inform you about Tesla's fundamentals. Yeah, dude. Let's do it up, Marcel. I'm in. Maybe we'll do like a podcast or something. I think it would be cool. I have that other YouTube channel with like 10,000 subs that I really don't use that much anymore. Maybe I'll do like a podcast on there or something like that based around the stock market. But I think it'd be fun. What do you think of Zoom with their reversal head and shoulders? Let's take a look at Zoom. I think Zoom is actually at a really good price. I can't believe it's pre-pandemic lows. Like we hit 82 at one point. Well, down near those pandemic lows. It's looking good. Like, I think the RVR is there, to be quite honest, like from a trading perspective. Like, I think the risk is there. I think the reward is there. And I think that we're going to start seeing rotations. You know what I mean? Like, I want you guys to understand that, like, big money doesn't sit still. So if we see the market take another fucking leg down, these companies that have gotten the shit kicked out of them in the past 6 months are gonna see good rallies up. I think Zoom's looking pretty good. You think Tesla phone is gonna raise the stock? There's a Tesla phone? I have no clue. I did see that there is potential that Apple is buying Rivian. Did I see that right? Or there was news and then Rivian's gonna shit the bed? I don't remember. I thought I saw a tweet. If I were to buy calls on a stock right now, call for duty, yeah. What time frame? Give me a time frame and I'll tell you. 1 week, 2 week, 10 weeks, whatever. Give me a time frame. $4,000 price target. That'd be crazy. Potentially. If you're to buy calls on stock, 1 week. 1 week. It's a hard one. I wouldn't. So 1 week time frame, I'd buy 3 calls out. Or 3 weeks out. Honestly, I wouldn't go buying anything crazy. Hood was looking good. Honestly, probably Airbnb. I'd probably buy Airbnb calls. Like 3 weeks out at the money. I think Airbnb is looking solid to run. Descending wedge, bullish divergence, holding EMA, looking like we should get a 6% run. I think Airbnb would be solid. I think Tesla could be solid if we pull back Monday. I just closed out ZUO. This was solid. FCX, I called that out yesterday too, but FCX kind of rejected on this EMA, so I would be careful. AMD potentially too. Honestly, if I had to pick one, it would be Airbnb. What do you think of Google? Long term, not bad. Short term, we're actually holding over this. Like, we're really holding over these levels, and it's looking like the market could recover, but I really think it's a trap. It's not looking bad though. Like, I would set an entry on Google at 2350, stop out at 2227, and take profit if we could hit 2674. Do the basic napkin math for how many cars they can produce, factories they have right now. It's ramping up pace, margins rising. That would happen even at the same prices, but average selling prices also rising due to so much demand, excluding energy FSD. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. The only thing that could really hurt Tesla is, their margins dropping because if just short term with so much inflation and then demand shriveling up. But I don't know if that would actually happen because we have a lot of money in our fucking pockets right now, but if we don't in the next 3 years, who knows what would happen. Redhead, welcome to the members group. I haven't really done much with this. I actually want to continue to do that. Don't forget Tesla insurance. That's actually a big piece of the puzzle, to be quite honest. How much would you pay for that? Think about the PEG ratio, PE ratio. I think PE ratio on this thing is freaking nuts too. I think the company is phenomenal. I just still think Tesla's overpriced, but I think Tesla has been overpriced forever since it's like except for back when it was trading at like 100 and when I bought it at like 200 PEG. I actually don't even know what PEG ratio is. Price to earnings growth PEG. Tesla's energy is bigger than the insurance. Tesla energy is a big thing too. I think that integrating the entire ecosystem into one is something that would end up being really good. Like when you look at companies like Apple, for specifically, like the hooks that they get in you is massive. So it's like once you have the Apple phone, then you get Apple AirPods, and then the Apple AirPods are worthless if you get rid of the Apple phone, and then you have Apple bank accounts, and then you have Apple fucking TVs, you have Apple everything, and once you get your ecosystem. And I was actually talking with a client on a coaching call who understands the company a lot, and I would like to do a podcast with him as well. I think it'd be really cool. I'm just gonna start scheduling podcasts. Let's actually do that. I'm just gonna write podcasts. We're gonna start a podcast. Fuck it. Today's Friday. We'll start a podcast. But one of the things you were saying is like, imagine if you have your Apple Solar, which your or your Tesla Solar, your Tesla Energy can power your Tesla car, right? But we'll see. We'll talk about that another time. A different way of trading, probably a more effective one. Tesla's one of the few companies that truly trades based on future business. Yeah, and that's why I don't touch Tesla most of the time, to be quite honest, just because it does not follow normal context. Like, even when unusual flows come in, it's not as easy as watching like an unusual flow on like an FCX, like happened this week, right? On FCX where we had this. Enjoy your page, trying to learn as much as you can. Thank you, Redhead. Yeah, go check out the Discord. There's a ton of free stuff over there. Gonna have some ebooks coming out and stuff like that. We'll see. Any questions before we hop off, guys? I gotta cook some dinner. And then I have some plans tonight. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I want to do some podcasts and some long form content as well, probably on the other channel. Tesla's still too high. I know this. Spoke about a pullback down to 400. I think we'll probably get 400. Personally do. All right, boys and girls, have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Content coming out this weekend. Probably gonna post like 1 or 2 videos this weekend. And have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy your week. Let's see. Enjoy your dinner and weekend. Once again, yeah. Oh crap! I just locked my computer. Hopefully I didn't just. I don't think I ended it. Cool. Yeah, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Chill. Get some sun. And I'll see you guys later.